In this video, I'm going to show you how to make sick melodic bass house live. One and only RetroVision. So sit back, relax and take some notes. Here's the roadmap. We'll start with the drop, the most exciting part of any track. The drop has three major components. First, drop synths, made up of leads, chords and bass. Second, drums, including kick, claps, drum loops, crashes and downlifters. Third, ear candies like drop stabs and drum fills. First, let's dive into the drums, which are essential for setting the groove. Start with a solid kick. I'm using one from my upcoming sample pack. It sounds perfect. Now, let's add claps. To give the drop more groove, we will layer in some top loops. Crashes and downlifters. Also drum fills, this gives the drop that extra punch. In the second part of the drop, I've added more top loops to keep things fresh. Also this ride. So drums altogether sounds like this. Drum processing. For the kick, I used EQ to tweak it slightly. For the claps, I cut the low end with EQ, added stereo enhancement to widen them, and used a clipper to control peaks. For the shakers and crashes, I used EQ to remove the low end and shape the sound. I routed all the drums to a single channel and added a clipper to cut the peaks. That's it for the drums. Now let's talk about the melody. So I've started with this basic melody. Now we have to make bass notes. To make the bass notes, especially for melodic bass house or bass house, copy your melody and duplicate it and go 4 semitones down. So now you have something like this. It sounds off key, but the starting is perfect. Now you have to adjust some notes to get a good bass line. So a melody and bass line sounds like this. Now let's move to the fun part, drop synths. We will start with the leads. The lead sounds great together.
What's that?
This melody is very simple. To enhance it, I added gliding notes. You can achieve this by enabling the mono and legato option and increasing the portamento knob as per your liking. Without effects, the leads sound flat and boring. But the real magic comes in the post-processing. Layers. The key effect here is the bass goodizer by Kling.
Hey, where'd you get that?
Which is a free patcher preset.
Wait, what?
So grab it. After that, I added saturation, distortion and EQ to shape the sound. One pro tip, I added reverb before OTT to make the reverb automation more impactful. Then I used EQ and Suit 2 to clean up harsh frequencies and M tremolo and M vibrato for automation and a clipper to cut the peaks. Now onto the bass. The bass consists of 3 layers. First, color bass layer. It is not actual color bass, but it adds a cool texture sound. Without effects, it sounds pretty basic. I added vocodecs to give it texture. So the important knobs are bandwidth knob, order knob, modulator unison shift. Then layered in some OTT for tightness, distortion and EQ to shape the sound. I also added a dynamic EQ, this is a free plugin by the way, and linked it to the mid bass channel. Second, mid bass. Covering the body and the highs of the bass. Layers. For processing, I use OTT, distortion and EQ to shape the sound. The key effect here is a dynamic sidechain EQ. Why use this? Because the leads and mid bass share same frequencies and we don't want them to clash. The dynamic sidechain EQ ducks specific frequencies where the leads sit, helping to create a clean mix. and let me show you how you can do this. First, sidechain your leads to the mid bass. Open TDR Nova or Pro Q3, click here and choose external sidechain. Now enable the sidechain graph mode. Now go to the settings, then processing, select your lead channel. Click on this threshold knob. Now we can use dynamic EQ. Now the sub bass. For the bass house, you need a punchy, hard hitting sub bass. Taking care of the low end. Processing is simple. Just use EQ to cut the highs. All the bass layer are then routed to one bus where I added a clipper to control the peaks. Let's move on to the chords. I divided the chords into two sections. First, color chords. Second, normal chords. And you'll ask why? Because color chords cover only the high end, so they cannot be used as the main layer. That's why I added normal chords to make the overall sound fuller and richer. Starting with the color chords. Without effects, they sound basic. So for the effects, I added vocodecks to give them that signature color. Set the wet knob to 100% and play with the band distribution. I adjusted the bandwidth and unison knobs to find the sweet spot. To clean up and brighten the sound, I added OTT, EQ and Soothe to remove resonance. These chords are then linked to the normal chord bus. The normal chords. I used OTT, EQ and distortion to shape and clean the sound. I also added a sidechain EQ and a clipper. To add even more texture, I included an arc. The magic comes from the vocodecks, with effects like OTT, EQ, saturation and Soothe too. Without vocodecks, it sounds like this. So the chords and up sounds together like this. All the synths are linked to a main sidechain bus, which has kickstart for sidechaining and Fruity Balance to control the volume. This helps glue everything together. Without volume automation, the synth sounds okay. But check out how much tighter they sound with automation. I also added bass taps and vocal chops for extra ear candy. Now, for the intro, I kept it simple, with a Reese bass for depth, chords, and ambience to fill the space. Some loops are from my upcoming sample pack. In the verse, I went for a more emotional vibe by adding strings and a top loop to keep the groove going. And I also added few more notes in the bass to add more grooviness. Next is the build-up. This is where you build anticipation before the drop. Layer your drums and gradually add risers, snare rolls and effects. Use automation to increase intensity by opening up filters and boosting volume. Use drop elements with low pass filter so the listeners can know what is going to come.
Hey yo, what the f?
And in the build-up, I also added a volume automation for the Reese bass and the most two important automation, which is a high pass automation and a stereo separation automation. If you found this tutorial helpful, drop a like and comment. It helps the channel, and subscribe for more music production tips and tricks and tutorials. Until next time, let's check out the final result.
Sometimes I wanna be close, but not